This is Starkey, alias Commander Strax. Please watch the hashtag show or prepare to be obliterated, human scum!
How you guys doing? We are now here with Dan Starkey, one of our favorite characters in Doctor Who, Strax. How you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes.
Now, what is it like? How do you make a character love violence and be lovable at the same time? Is that hard?
I think so. I'm very well served by the writing. It's Strax's lines are always very amusing, and yeah, if there's something, he's essentially well-meaning. It happens to be that he's also psychotic. So he's sort of like terribly polite, and he wants to take your coat and also blow you up at the same time. So it's kind of it's all part of a continuum in his strange brain.
So I'm assuming he's pretty fun to play.
Yes, he's great fun to play. Yeah, because I get to do the whole sort of like route of doing sort of physical comedy and sort of like have great gags, and also I get to do fighting in my own stunts and that sort of thing. So it's great.
So you're doing your own stunts. Strax does not have a stunt double.
No, well, only once when I had to drive a horse and cart, because I'm not a trained horseman. But apart from that, because I'm so padded up with the suit, I can go through like a sugar glass window and feel absolutely nothing. So it's it's great.
So you have actually worked with 2 doctors now.
No, I've worked with 3 actually.
My bad.
Yeah. I've worked with David Tennant, who knocked me out with a mallet in his last episode. I've worked with Matt Smith, of course, and I've worked with Peter Capaldi, and also through Big Finish Audio, I've worked with all of the classic series doctors as well, who are still going.
So you're very entrenched in Doctor Who culture. They keep you busy with audiobooks, obviously, and your character appears in comic books. So you're doing these cons. How's Doctor Who life in general?
It's great. I mean, I was a massive fan when I was a kid. It was my sort of like favourite programme until I was about sort of 12 or so. And so when I went to the audition the first time, they sort of said, "Do you watch the programme?" And I sort of said, "Yes, just a bit." And it felt like I'd done about 30 years worth of research in order to do it. But it's lovely sort of being part of this thing, which gave me so much pleasure when I was a child. And now it's kind of my job, which is great. But I think that's quite similar with most of the people who work on it as well.
Yeah, we've heard that from the doctors in the past.
Yeah. I think generationally as well, it's all the people who sort of write it and sort of work on it and film it in Cardiff. They've all got a connection to it. And I think in Britain as well, it's multi-generational. So people will remember watching it with their grandparents, and so it's been going for 50 years. So it's quite extraordinary in that respect. Everyone's got some kind of connection with it.
Now, how's your reception here? I imagine that you're probably one of the highly in-demand characters. What's it like mingling with these rabid, and I mean rabid, Doctor Who fans?
It's a lovely atmosphere here, and everyone's just really pleased to see you. I did Gallifrey before 2 years ago, and it's got such a nice atmosphere to it. So it's just walking around, and I think last time people hadn't seen what I looked like before, so I could walk around with relative anonymity for part of the event. But now it's just in the case of I just get whispers, so I don't go in corridors and Strax. But it's and also with the Christmas special where I actually had my own face for the first time, which was a nice treat they gave me.
How many requests a day do you get for the voice?
Yeah, a fair old few. It's yes, it's not too dissimilar from my own voice, so it's yeah.
Going back to talking about working with the different doctors, what's it like? What's your opinion of Peter Capaldi and his portrayal?
Yeah, it's great. Well, I was working with Peter. I was there on his very first day.
Yeah.
So by his own admission, he was incredibly nervous, but doing a really good job of it. But it was amazing, sort of seeing everyone, all the production team sitting behind the monitor, just like going, "Yes, this is great," and having I was the one who knocked on the door, and he poked his head out the TARDIS the first time, and sort of goes, "Grumpy," and it's just yeah, it was just great being part of that, and but also seeing Peter adjusting to the whole kind of thing of, I think you can prepare yourself mentally for how big a job it's going to be, but then I think until you're actually sort of there in the middle, I'm Doctor Who now. I think that's a whole different sort of thing, which I could see breaking open. And then when I went back to the Christmas special this year, I could see he was very much more in control of things. Like, okay, this is how I do it. But he's a very nice man, and he's very professional, very on it, and so very welcoming to people.
Speaking of the Christmas special, that was an amazing episode. It was really one of the better episodes in recent times. Do you have a favorite Doctor Who moment?
Oh gosh,
with or without you.
There's so many. I mean, I think the season climax with because Rachel Talalay is around here as well, who directed Death in Heaven, and just that shot of all the Cybermen sort of sitting in their sort of aquariums, and their heads all moving in synchronicity, and also Michelle Gomez is the Master. I think was inspired as well.
Yeah.
I think that was a very good end to the season.
Do you have a favorite villain in the Doctor Who fandom here, or in the Doctor Who universe?
Oh God! Again, there's lots. I like the Master. I want to see the Master's TARDIS at some point because he's another Time Lord, so he should have a TARDIS, or she should have a TARDIS as well. And Yeah, Davros, he's good.
All right. Can we get you to spill the beans? Have you been presented anything for next season? Anything?
I don't know. We always only hear about it at very short notice, so I don't know anything yet.
So, anything else? What are you working on outside of Doctor Who? Do you keep busy with outside of this?
Well, as I say, with things like with Big Finish Audio, that keeps nice sort of ticking over sort of thing. Also, I work with a theatre company called the Fitzrovia Radio Hour, which is kind of like a vintage radio show on stage, and we're working towards recording that as well. So perhaps that might be disseminated amongst the wider world as well. So yeah, lots of business, and I'm waiting to hear about it.
As an actor, is it tough out there in the UK? Do you come to Los Angeles a lot to audition for roles? How's that work for you?
I haven't been to Los Angeles to audition for things, but no, certainly. So like it's always a guess. It's nice with Doctor Who and my other program, Wizards vs Aliens, which is also made in Cardiff. That's they're two programs which have really sort of helped me to pay my rent for the last couple of years.
Excellent. Speaking of paying your rent, what role or what television show are you, just besides Doctor Who, would you love to see yourself in?
Oh gosh, actually Black Mirror. Seen Black Mirror? Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror. Yeah, I'd love to be in that. That would be great.
There's a couple of English shows that I really enjoy: Black Mirror and Orphan Black, another fantastic show. One last question for you: where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter, which is I'm Stan Darkley, STANDARKLEY on Twitter.
All right. Now, of course, this moment was going to come. Our show's called That Hashtag Show. Okay. Where is it? The Strax voice. I set you up for it already. I just wanted to know. Can I get that hashtag promo in the Strax voice?
Yes. This is Dan Starkey, alias Commander Strax. Please watch the hashtag show or prepare to be obliterated, human scum.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.